What's going on, everybody? This is JBB from the Post Game Report Podcast and TalkingAboutGames.com. And I want to thank everyone for subscribing to my channel. I don't have the most compelling content. I don't provide content on a regular basis. And quite frankly, my content is all over the place. One day I'm talking about electronics, the next video games, and then I throw in what I think is comedy, and I'll review porn, or I'll make funny videos, or at least make videos that I think are funny. But nonetheless, I respect all who take the time to view my videos, leave comments, whether they're good or bad, and most importantly, subscribe. You know, everyone is busy. Today, we live in a very, very busy world. And when somebody takes the time to register to your program or to your YouTube channel, it's a grateful thing. It's something that we take advantage of, or we take for granted. Now, I've been podcasting. This fall actually will make 10 years. So 10 years podcasting. And when I began podcasting, the word podcast was such a foreign name. Like, describing what the hell a podcast was an extreme challenge. Then you throw in the fact that I was podcasting about Halo, and that's where I began my podcast career, or podcast hobby. It was talking about Halo. It was the Podtacular Podcast, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast, and it's actually around, so make sure you check it out, podtacular.com. We talked Halo. We did that for a few years. We had millions of listeners, countless subscribers. I don't even know. This was audio. This was available on iTunes and at podtacular.com. So it was a challenge, and I enjoyed it simply because I didn't have to edit. I didn't have to work all the magic. That was Mike Funk, aka Fumo Jive, who was doing that, and it was a lot harder than it was now. Now, anyone can do a podcast from almost any device. And of course, podcast, the word podcast came from the fact that it was available on the iPod, on iTunes. And now, I fast forward to today's times, and I see that people are doing podcasts on YouTube. Now, technically, that is not really a podcast, but it is inspired by podcast. So if people want to call it that, so be it. They're doing a video blog or a vidcast, whatever you want to call it. Regardless, it's providing content to an audience. So that's cool. There are a lot of very talented people that I subscribe to on YouTube. And for the most part, if I subscribe to an individual on YouTube, I respect their work. Sometimes I unsubscribe when they mess up, and maybe at the time I'm not into what they're doing, but that stuff happens. That happens to me. I've reached a certain amount of subscribers, and then a day later, that number goes down for whatever reason. It's a tricky world out there when you're a content creator. The trends just go by so rapidly, and trying to keep up with the trends is really tricky. So as a content creator, you need to be very confident in what you do and just remain consistent. Trying to please the masses will never work out. So that is why it's a big deal for me to get 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I'm not going to give away any prizes. I'm not like that. I'm not going to sit here and call myself the best or claim that my content is the greatest or whatever. Now, me being a podcast host or podcaster or content creator for 10 years, I can tell you, quite honestly, in order to do this, you need to have a sense of narcissism. You need to consider yourself better than everybody else. Now, I consider myself very down to earth, very humble, but you still need that sense of confidence that you're better than everybody else. I think it. And if you catch me on a specific day, I'll tell you that I know it. But so does every other content creator. You need that, simply because you're putting yourself out there for whatever number of listeners or viewers You're putting yourself out there, and in today's age, that is a very dangerous thing. So once you put yourself out there and you hit that edit button or you hit that upload button, it's over. You can't take those words back. So as a veteran, no one can take that away from me. That's one thing for sure. As a veteran of all this, be aware of what you're doing. Do your homework, do your research, be confident, be consistent. I know I shouldn't be talking about consistency because I'm not a weekly or daily video editor or video uploader. But I've been doing this for 10 years. A lot of people can even last 1 year. And most of those years are podcasting. But regardless, I have more listeners than YouTube subscribers, but that's simply because I put more work into my podcasting. I would love to do more work on YouTube, but I'm older now. I'm 43. My son is 13. He needs me now more than ever. He's at that age where he's growing up. He notices things. He's starting to discover things. So I need to be there for some guidance. So that's just me. But it doesn't mean I'm never going to do videos again. I finally had an opportunity to make a video today. And I had the perfect topic. I'm not going to sit here and bash consoles or bash other YouTubers. I enjoy all that drama. I enjoy viewing it from a distance. And once in a while I get involved and talk a little trash on my Twitter, which is @JVB. By the way, my PlayStation Network name is JVBeta. And my Xbox Live gamer tag is JVB. So make sure you add me. I'll add you back. But regardless, I enjoy doing this. I thank you all very much. Hopefully, I can provide more content. So until next time, guys, you take care.